Firefighter Lundquist, Firefighter Nelson, Firefighter Sanchez, Firefighter Yemen, Firefighter Cooney, Firefighter Fitzsimmons. Red Watch present, sir.
In Battersea, southwest London, it's the start of shift for Red Watch.
Red Watch in for your duties, fall out.
54-year-old crew manager Aldo Diana has spent 26 years as a firefighter and is about to retire.
I've had my fair share. I've seen some horrific stuff and good stuff. So it's the right time for me to go.
Over the last 3 decades, Aldo's job has changed. He now spends more time trying to deal with fire safety.
Hello? Hello, it's the London Fire Brigade.
Today, Aldo and Red Watch are advising one section of the public known to be at greatest risk of fire. People who hoard.
Is it possible to come in and speak to you for 5 minutes?
They have a register of people they classify as hoarders, who they keep an eye on.
There's things I'm attached to for what other people might consider silly reasons, but there's other things which I've got no real attachment to whatsoever, but I don't really want to throw them out because they might have some financial value in the future.
Paul has struggled with his hoarding for over 20 years. He's one of an estimated 1.2 million people in the UK who hoard.
Where are you, Paul? You through the back? In terms of what we do, we try and come out and we speak to you about hoarding to try and see if you can maybe cut back a little bit in some of the stuff that you've got in your house because it's a fire risk.
Last year in the UK, almost 30% of fire fatalities came from hoarders' homes. Firefighters use an internationally recognised scale of hoarding called the clutter rating. Level 9 is the most extreme.
This one's quite loaded. It's got to be 7 or 8. It's a lot, isn't it? It's quite high up.
It bothers me if I think about it too much, but on a day-to-day basis, I just accept it.
There's a lot of combustible material in here that could go up. The bin, which has got a plastic bag in, has got cardboard and tissues. So if he doesn't put that cigarette up properly, it can smoulder. Not good. But all we can do is advise them. It's down to them then to take it on board. Paul, thank you very much, sir.
Right, you're welcome.
But thank you very much for chatting.
Right,
Take care. Look after yourself.
Bye.
If he was in the back room and you knew that you had to do a rescue, thick black smoke, you're not going to know where you're going, so you have to. It's all by touch and by feel. It's a massive risk for us firefighters to deal with something like that. But it's what we do.
It's impossible for the London Fire Brigade to get their message through to all of the city's thousands of hoarders. A call has come in. The home of someone the fire brigade would classify as a level 9 hoarder is Ablaze.
Fire brigade?
Yeah, hi. The burglar fire alarm's gone off.
Is there any sign of smoke or just the alarm as far as you know?
I thought I could smell smoke.
You can smell smoke, yeah?
I think so, yes.
Okay, we're on the way.
Eight fire engines from nearby stations are on the scene.
Have you been down there? That is level 9, mate. That is. We ain't getting in there very easy.
The sheer volume of combustible material means the fire risk spreading not just upstairs, but to the neighbouring homes. Firefighter Chris Evans is one of the first on the scene.
The adrenaline gets going, especially when you're getting all the smoke in the street, everyone's flagging you down, you think, hello. It's always in your back of the mind, is there somebody in there? Also, the heat hits you straight away.
Fortunately, the owner has escaped without injury.
It looks to me then that middle room, that's where it is.
But the issue is, apparently the floor's sort of gone and that's burning.
As the crew gear up with breathing apparatus, firefighter Chris struggles to find a way through.
Visibility 0, you can't see your hand in front of your face, and it's a case of using your senses that you've got left.
When we went in through a little corridor, there's like a lot of stuff on the floor that you need to get past. Found the room where the fire seems to be.
Couldn't get in there. It's impossible to move through there. Fire is coming up through the floor, and it's getting worse and worse because we couldn't get in there to actually get to the seat of the fire.
With poor visibility and a risk of tripping, they need to clear a path. Their only option now is to hose through the side window. With the fire out, Chris assesses the damage.
I can honestly say that when I first went into what I now know is the kitchen, I thought it was a small cupboard. There's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. How that gentleman lives in there, I have no idea. You know, if the gentleman didn't have a smoke alarm, couldn't get out, then probably be pulling potentially a dead body out, if I'm brutally honest.
In my bag of goodies, my original Royal Marine Green Beret. I was given back in 1984. So proud to have this. It means a lot, so much. It's made me the man I am today.
In Battersea, Crew Manager Aldo is getting ready for his shift.
You will see some guys, and they will pull their shirt out of a bag, and they'll put it on, and they won't even bother ironing it, and that really gets my goat.
With Aldo leaving, a new recruit is being brought in.
Before I joined the Fire Brigade, I was working in an office, and before that I went to uni, got a degree in economics for business, and realised that I needed a job that was a bit more active.
This is the first rookie Battersea Red Watch has had in 4 years. 25-year-old graduate Joe Fitzsimmons.
Hi, Firefighter Fitzsimmons.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
My name's Stuart. I'm the watch manager. Watch manager Brown. Welcome to the watch.
Thank you.
Do you want to grab a seat? This is Crew Manager Aldo Diana.
Hi there.
He's going to be looking after you while you're on the watch. How was your training?
Yeah, it was good.
Enjoyed it?
Yeah? Really good.
Yeah, so all ready for your time on the fire station?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Excellent. So
a little bit nervous, obviously, first day. Just finished 11 weeks of training.
Everyone listen. This is Joe. New boy. Joe.
Hello.
Jonas. Mike. Tim. Marcus. And Badger.
Being in the uniform feels sort of great. When it comes to sort of a dream, as well as like an astronaut or a pilot, every kid has them sort of dreams, and I just feel quite lucky that I'm able to live one of mine.
Joe has a lot to learn, but everyone's keen to take him under their wing.
Look at your steps, Joe. It's right leg, right arm, left leg, left arm.
leg round, body against the pole, and it's literally just leg, arm, and then slide. Do you try it now?
Can you be careful with that tool, guys? Hang on, stop a sec, look, right, this tool, leave go.
I think it's like a weird sort of family here. It's like Aldo, but it's sort of being the granddad of it.
The tool itself opens right up, right, and you can place the tool on there. It doesn't go banging in, it goes on the place, and then it closes it, yeah? Right, take it.
The new boy, Joe, he's looking like a rabbit in headlights, basically.
Joe, when the cars get to the point where you think they'll stop, keep going.
Mastering the cutters will be a vital skill for Joe. Until the 80s, fire trucks had only hacksaws and crowbars. Now every appliance is equipped with specialist cutters, spreaders, and chains. It's a big change from when Aldo joined. When he started in 1987, there were only a few female firefighters. Tammy McLeod Carey has been in Lambeth's Red Watch for 10 years. Out of over 5,000 firefighters in the brigade, more than 300 of them are women.
People are generally shocked to see a girl in this uniform, and I think a girly girl in this uniform.
What's managed to done? Are you seeing though?
I do get funny looks all the time, and standard comments. Some can't be said about sliding down poles and things like that.
How you doing? You alright? Oh, thank you. Who's in the pub?
Is he down?
Yeah.
Tammy's husband, Andy McLeod-Carey, is a firefighter at the same station, but on a different watch. They take turns looking after their 4-year-old son.
Okay, don't worry. I'm on it.
We probably get to spend one day a week together, which is tough, but maybe that's probably why it works.
Dinner!
I've got a 4-year-old at home, and then I come into work and think, oh, it'll be nice, I'll have some nice adult conversation, and I'm faced pretty much with the same level of conversation I got out of my 4-year-old all day. I'm only joking, I bring it down just as much.
We got a call to a fellow who had a little bit of problem. We had to relieve him of his imprisonment, didn't we? He had the meat and 2 veg stuck in this stainless steel cock ring.
It's not the first time, we get them all the time. Well, we've had a few, haven't we?
All the time.
How many have you had in the last 10 years?
That one.
Oh, we only had one. We've had 3.
No, but personally, I only had 1.
I didn't realise we'd go to so many rings stuck on penises when I joined this job, which is always an interesting one. It's fun. It's really fun.
Why was it fun?
I think it would be difficult for me to be married to someone outside of this job because of the fact that I'm with men all day. But he gets it. He's on a watch himself, so that makes perfect sense to him. That's me.
A call has come in of an incident on Westminster Bridge.
It's a really iconic location with a lot of tourists attracted to that area. So, you know, thoughts are going through our head that potentially there's another reason behind this.
Tammy and her crew from Lambeth are racing to an incident on Westminster Bridge.
Where we're stationed here is really iconic. I'm always aware that this has got the potential of terrorism at any time.
It was on this bridge that just a few months later, a terrorist attack would claim 5 lives.
I think that's anybody's one of their biggest fears at the moment in the current climate.
This time, a coach is on fire. If the fuel tank ignites, it could cause a serious explosion.
We've got the fire out now, obviously extinguished the fire. It's still about 300 degrees down there, so a lot of fuel leaking out on the road.
Reignition is something that you don't want. With engine fires and the oil being so hot, it could easily go off again.
Tammy must ensure the engine's properly cooled so it doesn't burst back into flames.
Me being small comes in handy a lot when it comes to fitting into small holes. Mike, can you just have a look how many lights we're on, please?
Have a look how many
lights, how much water I've got. We are glorified burglars half the time, and there is always a small window or a small gap to fit through, or throwing someone over a fence. You know, that is always me.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. Big problems in London. Westminster Bridge remains closed in both directions after that coach was on fire. It's still extremely busy on both sides of the river.
We're not going to leave until it's cooled beneath 100 degrees, so at least another 20 minutes. All right, okay. I'll keep you posted though, all right? What's the temperature on that now? Mike, what's the temperature?
The recovery truck's here now. As soon as it's cool, it will get on the back of there and open this road up again.
30 French school kids were evacuated from the coach.
We don't know why the bus take fire. We will come back, don't worry.
We'll keep a good memory of London.
A few months later, it was another group of French school children who were caught up in the terrorist attack on Westminster Bridge. Tammy's station took just over 4 minutes to arrive on scene.
Hello, sweetheart. Did Daddy brush your hair today? No, I can tell. It's hard when you get the phone calls saying how much he misses you, but I guess any working mum goes through exactly the same thing. I'm away for a couple of days, which is tough on him sometimes.
Are you having a nice time at work?
Yeah, I'm having a lovely time at work. I miss you. I could not do a desk job. I need something different. And, yeah, this job definitely gives me that.
In Merton, South London, the Fire Brigade's control room is fielding some of the 500 999 calls it takes in a day. Each year, they deal with around 7,000 hoax or non-urgent calls.
Fire Brigade.
I don't know, I'm just phoning. If my garage door snapped.
Really?
Okay, so you're stuck in your chair at the moment because the footrest is stuck. Okay.
What do you mean it's snapped?
It's come out of the railing and it won't come down.
But nothing's on fire?
No, nothing is on fire.
I've kind of got my cat stuck up in the large oak tree. I wondered if I could get some help trying to get it down.
His garage door's broken. Obviously, we won't be going.
Time wasters put added pressure on a service already stretched to the very limit. On average, they're called out over 250 times a day. And over 5,000 calls a year are to road traffic accidents. In southwest London, fire engines are mobilising to a crash, where a man is trapped, suffering with potentially serious spinal injuries.
One adult male, approximately 50 years old, MDT toxicology.
Wimbledon's Blue Watch manager, Stuart Butler, is overseeing the incident.
Casualty's got potential neck spinal injuries, and which is why the LAS have got a neck brace around the casualty, but we've also got someone in the back of the car supporting the casualty's head. Any movement in the car can affect those injuries to the point where, you could disable them.
He's got some very severe neck pain causing him what we would say some numbness in his legs. Worst case scenario, he could be left paralysed, so he needs to have a CT scan, X-ray, so they know the extent of the damage.
Firefighters need to cut him out and get him to hospital quickly, but a wrong move could end in paralysis.
What we need to do is just go around, stabilise all the time now, okay? Because there's people coming in, getting out, okay?
Crew Manager Andy Wilson oversees his team as they begin the rescue.
We'll take him out the safest way, which is a full roof off. That gives us full access. We can get a full amount of people into the car, surrounding him and lifting him out safely, as opposed to just twisting him, possibly making his injuries more severe.
Paramedics give him gas and air to control the pain, whilst the firefighters work to remove him from the vehicle.
Cars nowadays are made of very strong steel, so all our equipment has to be able to cut through vehicles like this one. The equipment is great now. We've got new improved cutting equipment, so we can get roofs off a lot quicker. So you've got to take the weight of the roof, and the direction of the roof is going to come forward. Okay? Everyone clear? Yeah. Okay? Prepare to brace. That's it. When you're ready, make that final cut. Okay. Everyone forward. Carefully. Go forward. On the pavement. Take legs now. We're going to take him up and straight out the boot. Okay?
Ready, brace, lift.
They're all working together. The person holding the head is the most important person. They're saying when to do it.
And we're going to go again. Ready, brace, lift.
You've got his arm lifted.
And up. Ready, brace, lift. Good work, Darren. You're doing really well, mate. And last 6 inches. Ready, brace, lift. Side really well, mate.
Okay, and lower.
Okay, well done, guys.
All happy?
Yeah, all happy. He's on the bed. He's in LAS's hands now.
That should start to help with pain, right? You can keep breathing the gas.
It's quite a slow impact, but geez, my legs are numb. My chest hurts. Apart from that, I'm dandy.
I'm quite happy that it went very smoothly. He came out in 25 minutes, which is very good, bang on time.
The man was taken to hospital and he was found to have no lasting injuries.
Fire Brigade.
Lily, we've got a kitchen fire going on in our house at the moment.
Okay, the Fire Brigade will be on their way. A rotisserie on fire.
Although they increasingly deal with traffic accidents, the London Fire Brigade still responds to nearly 1,600 fires a week.
Oh my God, there's a massive fire! There's a massive fire! Yeah.
In the last 10 years in the UK, 13 firefighters have lost their lives in the line of duty. One of the biggest hazards is a sudden burst of fresh air, which can cause an explosive and deadly backdraft. These are the dangers newly qualified rookie Joe now faces. In Battersea, South London, he's still waiting for his first shout as he gets to know his new team.
Wow, he's just accidentally thrown water down my leg. A bold move for a man who's just joined the job.
I think it's very important that this career works out, that it's a job I really want to do. I wouldn't want to go back to work in an office. So yeah, I need to make sure it works out, show that I'm keen. Getting a nickname is a point where they can sort of trust you and they kind of welcomed you in, and I have got my nickname already.
Rodders from Only Fools and Horses. Rodney, we've decided on our watch night out that he favours Rodders.
Yeah.
Right, Rodders?
Yeah.
Look at this, standards. Look, standards. Shirt hanging out. Look, you just haven't got yourself dressed properly. Shirt's hanging out.
Look, you'd have pulled out.
I didn't, he's hanging out. You just haven't got yourself dressed properly.
Can you show me?
No, your mum shows you every morning. Come on, Joe, let's dress you before you go to work.
Aldo is obviously looking to me to maybe sort of pass on his knowledge and his skills, and sort of I'll be his protege, something that he can kind of, when he leaves, go, yeah, I've taught him well and he's going to do well in the job.
Finally, Joe's first big call has come in. It's a house fire in one of London's most expensive areas north of the river. Smoke's coming from a fifth-floor attic room, making access difficult, and the fire risks spreading to neighbouring homes.
Yeah, we'll run as soon as possible.
After months of training, Joe will be put to the test as he faces his first real fire.
Go ahead, over.
Yeah, proper fire.
In central London, Rookie Joe is at his first fire. It's in a fifth-floor attic.
You can't get to the fire because of basically the too hot. So we need to try and ventilate.
The crew believe the occupants are safely out, but they still have to make sure.
Right, OK, just dress it for me, please.
Firefighters wearing breathing apparatus, or BA, can only go in for short periods to avoid heat exhaustion.
Now you know that you're going in, starting to think about what you're going to do. Starting up there. Yeah.
Joe will only be called on if the first teams to go in need to be relieved.
Yep, all right.
Are you ready to go in? Yeah. Are you close?
Everyone suddenly sort of turns it up a gear. Everything happens a lot quicker. Loads of stuff is happening at one time.
You have to be quite aggressive with this firefighting, because otherwise we're not going to get this.
The fire can't be seen through the thick smoke, so firefighters use a thermal camera to find it.
To the right! He's there! He's getting hotter. Yeah, you're hitting it. You're hitting it, yeah. You're right. You want to come back. Come back.
Let's have another BA crew, please.
You didn't get to the fire?
We saw it with the team. We were there. I couldn't press any more because it was too hot. We couldn't open any windows.
Right, okay.
I saw it with the team.
Firefighters Nikki Upton and Ernie Okar are the first BA crew to come out.
Woohoo! Right.
So there's lots of furniture.
Yeah, there's a sofa in the room.
So it's hard to gauge the dimensions of the room.
Somebody's home isn't looking too good up there. We can't. Well, I'm hoping the further crews in, we're able to make a bit more progress if we popped a window. It's the only way that's going to help if we get a window open.
Gentlemen, listen in. Turn your radios down so you can hear me. You've got a loft and you've got a dormer over at that side. Once the heat breaks that window, it will vent out.
With no ventilation, the thick smoke is 600 degrees inside, and Joe is next in.
Right. Nico, listen. One of the windows at the back is first now. Let's try and get in there. Okay.
They need to break the attic window to vent the smoke out.
Gentlemen, it will be venting now. This is where we have to be careful.
This is the most dangerous time. When the windows are broken, the smoke will clear, but the fresh air could cause a potentially lethal backdraft.
I open the window here. We are venting and we are going out.
Gentlemen, listen.
Yeah, it's here.
You got it?
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, but it gets really hot.
It's really hot.
We're hitting it, but it gets really hot.
Okay.
We're hitting it. So we're gonna have 2 minutes rest. Yeah, it's really hot now.
Okay. Come back down to the stairs, keep it at bay. You two come down. Yeah. You're going to change with these two. Yeah, Stuart, can I have another BA crew, please?
With the first crews overwhelmed by the heat, it's Joe's big moment as the next shift goes in.
The brief is make your way to the 3rd floor, all right, with hose management, and then you're going to be taken over from Dean and Nico.
Yeah, we're going into a fire, the first proper fire I've got now.
Yes, 3rd floor, assist crews.
It's a little bit more manic, a bit more crazier than I thought it would be.
Okay, gentlemen, you are getting this. You are getting it. We're making progress.
Yeah, it's gone down. It's right there. It's gone.
It's the first time being in that sort of thing, and there wasn't any fire, but there was still sort of hot points. The room was still really hot.
Gentlemen, that's easy on the water now. You're doing good. You're doing really well. Shut the water off. Let's look for this visibility now. Shut the water off.
done, mate. Good man.
Well done, Nico. Well done, Dino. The heat coming off him, look. You're on fire.
We all remember our first fire, you know, mine's many moons ago now, but, you know, that first one's really important just to get it under your belt. Well done, Joe.
It was hot. It was a lot hotter than I thought it was going to be. I know we got into training and when you do it, but you're not moving as quickly. There's not as much going on. I think everyone's kind of waiting for you to get your first sort of proper wear. It's kind of like a sort of, maybe a bit like initiation. Once you got out of the way, you kind of are a firefighter because you've got in, you've got dirty. So, yeah, I think I'm sort of part of the crew, but they've told me now I've got to buy the cakes. It's a little tradition after your first proper wear, your first proper job, you've got to buy some nice cakes.
The fire is thought to have come from one of the most common causes of house fires. A candle left unattended, which set bedding on fire. Joe is one of the many new recruits the brigade takes on each year. It's a highly competitive process, with thousands of people applying for each position.
Just a new one for the menu, Josie?
It's a difficult one. I mean, the rice, as you can see, is not up to scratch yet. Definitely needs a mango, mate.
Bit mango, yeah.
Yeah.
28-year-old Josie Elliott was accepted into the brigade 8 years ago.
3 chilies on a jar it was. A bit hot for me. Glad I'm doing what I wanted to do when I was a child. I didn't really sort of play with dolls or anything. Just wanted my brother's toys and stuff and developed into a little tomboy, if you like.
Not bad. Out of a jar.
I've got the toilet roll on standby for the running nose.
Oh, for your nose?
Yeah, it's for the nose, yeah. Yeah. If anything bad happens, it'll be tomorrow, I reckon.
She's based in Brixton Station as part of the White Watch.
Ready, brace left. Turn and drill, 3rd floor, right-hand side. 3 and 4 side of hill. Bit more. Yeah.
Josie spent her entire career with the same watch members.
Right, I want some nice teamwork here, lads, all right?
Here we go.
3rd floor, please.
Ready?
Extend. Keep going.
People rely on you and your skills to help them in situations that they can't help themselves in. Whether they're shutting a lift or in a fire, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, someone's called you for help. You know, I want to be good at what I do. It's important to me.
Josie and White Watch are mobilising to a fire just over a mile away in Clapham.
They say 3 minutes of smoke could kill someone, so if someone's trapped in a building, it's smoke log. Turning up within 3 to 5 minutes is crucial, really, to that person's life.
A neighbour has spotted smoke coming from a top-floor flat, and the owner is out at work.
The time factor is very important. You know, we need to put things in place like water supply, and the BA team need to have their sets on ready to go in.
Yes, right.
The entry control board set up. So that first 5 minutes is a real rush around, let's get things into place. Time's essential, because you've got to put that fire out, you've got to stop that fire spread.
Keep going, right, keep going.
The smoke is getting thicker, but it's a mystery where the fire is.
If you don't find a seat of the fire as soon as possible, there could be potential fire spread through the building cavities and also through the roof. When the fire goes into the roof, it's very difficult to deal with it. You've got to feel around and use your hands and your feet and your brain, really.
Eddie, can you go ahead with that?
Yeah, there's nothing visible from the back.
With all the smoke, firefighters are having to use a thermal camera to find the fire. It's showing up extreme heat in one corner.
No. Yeah, we found it. Little fire. It's like a little filing cabinet of that.
There's always a risk of further fires. So So Josie's using the thermal camera to look for hot spots that could ignite.
Yes, it's pretty warm up there. I'm going to let the BA crew know, see if they can find anything else, or put a bit more water down there just to make sure.
The owner has rushed back from work and is met by the neighbour who raised the alarm.
It's your friend. She didn't know she was somewhere else.
I'm fine, I thought you were there and I had a panic.
It's thought the fire was caused by a cigarette.
That was 5 minutes later. Could have been big.
He probably lost the top half of that house. So, yeah, it was a lucky escape. Yeah, smoke alarm did its job. Again.
Well done, job well done, well done.
Well
Job medals.
Story, boys.
Helping people, going into fires, dealing with different stuff, different days. No day is the same, as cliche as that sounds, but it really ain't. And my family's extremely proud of me. My friends think I'm a hero just because I wear this uniform.
Fire Brigade.
Hi, there's a fire that's just broken out on the building opposite me.
All right, we're on our way. We'll be there shortly.
In the 5 years before the Grenfell tragedy, fires in London fell by almost a quarter, and over the last 15 years, fire fatalities had fallen by 40%. Unfortunately, that has changed after Grenfell.
My neighbour shouting for help, and it's just a smoke.
Even small house fires can claim lives, and the biggest danger is smoke inhalation.
We're on our way.
A call has come in of a man who's been overcome by smoke in his flat.
In there, it was like simply putting your hands over your eyes and then trying to navigate.
Despite the emergency service's best efforts to resuscitate, it's too late to save him.
We go in there to save people and do everything that we absolutely can. You know, we've done that tonight, but unfortunately, the gentleman has passed away.
Yeah, it's sad to see, but you can't sort of dwell on it.
The flat is now the scene of a fatality. A fire investigation team has been called in, and they need to find out what happened. A fire in a top-floor flat has claimed the life of a homeowner. Fire investigators are now trying to piece together what went wrong.
Yeah, so from the moment you first got here, you can just run through in your own words what happened.
Investigator Neil Morling needs to take statements, whilst his colleague Barry Kent examines the physical evidence.
What sort of conditions were you in?
Hot black smoke.
Yeah.
You couldn't see anything, you couldn't see that. You could feel the heat source up ahead. Just a small fire in the corner. And then as we were still trying to locate the fellow, just noticed his bald head.
Sat our way around and he came in between us on the chair.
Yeah.
The focus for us is obviously the cause of the fire. We paint a picture as we go. So we look in and we look at the lifestyle, whether there's hoarding issues. We find all sorts of electrical problems. We'd be looking at candle use, smoking materials, whether we've got those lying about. So then we can start building up a list of possible causes, and then we go through it methodically and discount them as we go. We're looking at burn patterns, smoke layer, anything that's a little bit out of place. So we've got burnt material on the door frame, which is obviously out of place. If you can see, there's some material in the sink area, which appears to be a curtain. We've also got down here some sort of electrical equipment, which is quite severely damaged. So This is where we believe the fire started. Once your fire has ignited and you've got a flaming fire, quite quickly the fire would spread to those curtains, and then it would run up the area quite quickly. The movement patterns of the burnt material through the flat would indicate that the fire has been brought from the room of origin, which is the front room, carried through here by the occupant at some point in the early stages of the fire's development. It appears that he's carried this in here and he's run some water onto that fire, and then he's returned to the room of origin where he was found. Human nature is a very funny thing, but it's quite often that people will tackle a fire. It's their own home, they're proud of their own home, they want to protect it. People just underestimate the smoke. That's the problem, they underestimate the smoke. You're rushing around a little bit more, you're starting to panic, your body's working that much quicker, you're breathing that smoke in without even realising until it's too late, and then by the time you're starting to struggle, then, you know, you are in trouble.
Come on.
Sorry, sir.
Exactly. Nice to see that shirt's pressed. Don't forget to put a couple of creases in the sleeve next time. Youngsters today.
Back at Battersea, it's the day after Joe's first big fire.
Is Joe made of the right stuff? I think Joe will get there. I'm hoping he will. So long as he has a passion for the job. Because he seems to have a good heart. He seems to have a good head in him. I think he'll make a good fireman. He'll do all right.
Get the horses ready.
As Joe takes his place on the watch, Aldo prepares to leave. It's a very different brigade from the one he joined.
I believe it's the right time for me to go now. I think it's a young man's game. I've got, a few months to go, and I will be going. There's a buzz on the station. We're happy working together. That's me. Sorry, go. Take my glasses. Sorry, guys.
I just like getting out there. Look, 26 years in, first man on the machine. It's got to be done.
Fire Brigade. Hi, my daughter is like something about me across the garden from the house through the Brixton tires.
There's a fire in the building that's opposite mine.
There's a massive surge. Hello, it's a really emergency. I can't get out. From the Brixton way. I just wanted to ask. Yeah, whereabouts do you live? 20 miles.
We're going to number 100.
I can hear a fire engine. I think there might be one there. I can hear one.